Okay.
Just one thing I wanted to say to you there, Noreen, I have never been great journaling. And I think it was something to do with the trust issue I've developed when I was in boarding school. It was something that we started when we were younger. I don't know where it came from. I think it was you know, the Posy books that we used to get as kids, you know, write down, to collect your stickers and stuff like that. And I do think that it's possibly something to do with that when you put in your, you know, how your feelings and your stickers and how you feel about stuff. And at the time when I was in boarding school, my so-called friends got a hold of the book and made ridicule of me. So I think writing my thoughts down, I have always had a hard time with it because I feel that it's leaving it wide open for other people to abuse.
Okay.
So I really have a mental block with it. I am trying. I've tried. I have gone with 2 different types of books. And I'm trying to figure out which one is going to resonate with me. I think this one is beautiful. And I have started writing down kind of what things that I'm grateful for. I've done it twice and I've stopped. And the same with this one. And I've stopped. And so I am really, I don't know how I'm going to get around that. So,
well, another way you can do, Siobhan, is actually recording on your phone. Sometimes you can do that. You know, you can record something if you wanted to. But what I find is, because I don't journal every day because I just find I can't, you know, it just doesn't come to me or whatever. But I do my meditations. I do my meditations every day. So something, you know, and as you said like that, just being grateful and just going out in nature, I think as well, that's your meditation as well. So I always find if you have a blockage on it and just ask, see, this is where the trust comes in. You have to trust yourself, all right? Because this is you trusting your best friend. You're trusting you now. Yeah. And you're in your journaling. And just put them in a safe place, you know, in your house. So no one can get at him. Because I can guarantee you, right? And I know myself, because I'm journaling for years. I go back and I read it and I'm going, oh my God, I was like that. You know, I have come a long way from, you know, but it's just, or even if you want to write it and burn it, just burn it, go and burn it into the fire. So then you don't have it, you know what I mean? If you feel that way, but it'll come over time and trusting, because I can guarantee you, these are your teachings. The things you're writing down, you're actually going to be teaching to people. Because you'll be teaching your issues, yeah?
May I say something here?
You can, yeah.
If you ever, if you want, I work with EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and exactly what you have just described, we can dissolve those past feelings and memories.
Okay.
It's
So we might do, yeah.
It's just, you know, if you ever, you know, it's something, if you ever want to explore that.
So, yeah. So Gillian, what we might do is, you know, at the end of April, we might actually book you in to do at the end, you know, would that be okay?
Yeah.
You could do it in the group and we can actually just see, how it works.
Yeah.
Because that might be nice for us to share stuff, you know, and so say the next, whenever our next one is in three weeks' time, you can come in and you can actually do an EFT on us and just show us how that's done. Yeah.
I'd appreciate that, Gillian, actually, because just to share with you guys, I really was struggling as to whether I would share this with you guys, because I feel I don't want to monopolize this meeting, but I had no voice last week, so maybe today is my voice day. I had, after 18 years, I had a really bad breakup in 2019. Well, the breakup was going on for 2 years prior to that already, possibly even longer. But
I see now this is recorded, so are you okay with sharing it with the group?
That's okay. I'm fine with it, because it's really interesting what happened yesterday. And so I was saying about my wonderful nature-filled weekend. And yesterday morning I was at work and I got a message from someone who asked me, would I please talk to her? And I hadn't a clue who this person was. And I actually thought it was somebody who was contacting me in relation to work. So I said, I kind of, you know, you get your spidey senses go off and you have a suspicion, but at the same token, I couldn't allow my suspicions to take over. So I said, look, give the benefit of the doubt, this person may actually not be who you think it is. As it turns out, it is the woman my ex started going out with a month after we broke up. And she reached out to me. She said, will you please talk to me? And I was there going, what you need to talk about, because I really didn't know what was going on, and I actually thought in my heart I thought she was coming at me with something.
Yeah.
As it turns out, the man has made her life an utter hell, and he did to her what he did to me. And I was talking to someone else, and they said, you know, Siobhan, you have a choice here.
Mm-hmm.
You can be an absolute horror about it, and you can tell her to go and fly, or you can reach out and hold her hand and help her deal with what he's done to her. Because at the time when he did it to me, I had no one, and I really, it broke me in halves. So the stuff that she was sending me yesterday was just basically going back over all of the junk that what happened between us. But I just thought it was as Gillian was just saying there, the EFT, the clearing, and you know, trying to deal with the past and all that stuff. So I kind of think it's probably, yeah, the month of April might be a declog, debunk, I know, degrease, get it out kind of thing. So, you know, from that point of view, I think as much as I am a little bit apprehensive maybe, and I think that's purely because my trust issues have just literally been kicked into overdrive again, I would be open to it, and I do think it's probably a great idea. But at the same token, that's what's kind of come through in the last few days, which was something completely out of the blue. I was not expecting that, because I thought they were still together, and as it turns out, they're not. So, but I thought it was interesting in terms of, now that Gillian mentions the EFT there, completely non-related, just we had no idea. So yeah, it's amazing how everything is kind of working together, and the circle of life is doing its job, huh?
It is. And it's bringing it up now for you just to say, look, you're not wrong. This guy is doing it to everybody. And if you could actually get out there and actually let people know your story, then he would be blocked. He won't be allowed to do that, you know. And as you say, you are a vulnerable person with love and kindness, and you trusted him to come into your life and see what he done. So it was lovely that you can actually reach out, that she could reach out to you, because it was really a sentiment of who you are. You're kind and you're caring, and she knew that.
Well, I don't know, did she know that? But as my friend said to me, fair play to you for being the, she didn't use the word the bigger person. What she said was for being brave enough. Sorry, that's what she said, for being brave enough to look beyond your own fear, frustration, anger, distress, to, I guess, in a way, give her a platform to discuss what happened to her, and not feel, because again, like that, he is trying to make her out to be insane and psychotic, and that she should be receiving treatment and all this stuff, you know, same thing.
Yeah, but that's okay. So it brought it all back up to you. So now you actually need to just vomit it out, really, and get rid of it.
I need to vomit it out. Yeah,
and as you said, let her go and get her own help then, or else pay you to help actually help her. Yeah, you know what I mean. Well, don't do this for free.
No.
You know? You good girl. So yes. So on that note, here I was feeling into all your energy this morning. So our meditation today is on loving kindness.
There you go.
But yes, well, first of all, right, as you say, we do the Reiki principles, but this morning I just want us to find our breath. Okay. So we just connect. So either find your posture in your chair.
Sorry, I just had to let my dogs out. We had a wee incident. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, you just put yourself on mute there. You can. Yeah. Let your body. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. You can mute yourself there if you like, and I'll just go through this here. So yeah, find the posture on the chair. And let your body be firmly planted on the earth. Your hands resting easily, your heart soft, your eyes closed gently. At first, feel your body and consciously soften any obvious tension. Let go of any habitual thoughts or plans. Bring your attention to feel the sensation of your breathing. Take a few breaths to sense where you can feel the breath more easily, as coolness or tingling in the nostrils or throat, as movement of the chest or rise and fall of the belly. Then let your breaths be natural. Feel the sensations of your natural breathing very carefully, relaxing into each breath as you feel it, noticing how the soft sensations of breathing come and go with the changing breath. After a few breaths, you might find probably your mind will wander. When you notice this, no matter how long or short a time you have been away, simply come back to the next breath. Before you return, you can mindfully acknowledge where you have gone with a soft word in the back of your mind, such as thinking, wondering, hearing, itching. After softly and silently naming to yourself where your attention has been, gently and directly return to feel the next breath. As you sit, let the breath change rhythms naturally, allowing it to be short, long, fast, slow, rough, or easy. Calm yourself by relaxing into the breath. When your breath becomes soft, let your attention become gentle and careful, as soft as the breath itself. Like training a puppy, gently bring yourself back 1,000 times. And as we practice this, we will gradually learn to calm and center ourselves using the breath. There will be many cycles in this process, stormy days altering with clear days. Just stay with it. As you do, listening deeply, you will find the breath helping to connect and quiet your whole body and mind. Working with the breath is an excellent foundation for the other meditations we will be doing. After developing some calm skills and connecting with your breath, you can then extend your range of meditation to include healing and awareness of all the levels of your body and mind. You will discover how awareness of your breath can serve as a steady basis for all you do. Oh my goddesses. This morning, we're going to be working on, let me just go down and on the master symbol. Okay, so can you see it there? I'm sharing the screen. So if you just look at the symbol here, and you can practice it if you get out your journal or your piece of paper and just practice the master symbol. Okay, so it's Dakumu, right, which means the master symbol, and it's recognition and clarity about your true path. And this is a really powerful one. So you can see where the 1 is going down the middle, and then the 2 is going from the left or from the right across to the left at the top here. And then the 3 is there like the legs, and the 4 is the legs. And then you've got the 5 coming down the middle, and 6 to the left, and 7 is like a little circle, and 8 going across. And then you've got the 9 coming down on the left, and the 10 like a little half circle, moon circle. And the 11 going across the top of the box. The 12 coming down the left-hand side, 13 down the right-hand side, and 14 across the bottom. And then you've got the 15, which is like a, I don't know what it is, sign there on the left-hand side. And then we go across to the right-hand side. So we have 15. So we have 16 coming down the right-hand side of the box. And we have 17 going across the top. And 18 coming down the left side of the box. And then you have 19 like a Z. Okay.
Will you put them on Facebook?
Yes, I will do, yeah. And it's just more to practice that. And I just, yeah. So I'll put it on bigger actually up on Facebook when we're doing it. Yeah. So this one is, so this is less written about the Reiki symbol and function that about the others is the context of Reiki, because until quite recently, there have been very few Reiki masters who have empowered to use it. It is still somewhat unexplored. So, the first 3 symbols were compared, and one form for each was selected after her death. This is Mrs. Takata, who's sister to Dr. Usi. So the meaning and function of this is the whole universe is made of vibrational light. So the 4th symbol has the function of transmitting supple vibrations of love, healing and harmony for all beings by resonating with conscious energy in a higher dimension. So when I'm using this symbol, I use it during attunements, but also if I'm doing a healing session and I'm with somebody who's at a higher vibration, and you can use it. So, and it's really, really good for helping you to get clarity and manifesting. So if somebody is at, is at a higher vibration like yourself and you're working on them, you can bring in the master symbol to help you to bring that person into manifestation and that vibration. And that's probably why they're coming to you. So this is considered to be a very sacred symbol and given the highest expressions like God inviting symbol. So the symbol for guiding spiritual awakening, but the symbol has its value in the function of connecting to sacred being and becoming part of it, the source, the higher dimension. Represented by the symbol is honorable, but the symbol itself is just a tool. So it's you going into that higher vibration, okay? Which is really powerful. So the different concepts illustrated by different Buddhas using the Dakumu, and that's the name of the symbol, as a metaphor do include sacred but not secret ideas about spirituality, reality, and universal law, such as love, light, and harmony. And the proper function of all the senses is perfect fusion with spiritual essence. And in the particular tradition, almost familiar, it represents the complete body of universal law and wisdom. So when you're working with this, it's at the higher dimension. So it's there to protect you as well. Okay. So it's like Siobhan, when you're talking about your friend, your ex-wife's or ex-girlfriend or ex-partner's girlfriend bringing you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really about you empowering yourself so you can put the symbol around you to protect yourself. So nothing will come in, her feelings won't come into yours because, as you say, she's a different person. So he treated her differently to you. Yes.
Yeah.
So just remember that. So you're a different person. So you can't take on her energy in this. So it's really good. But as you say, you use the power symbol, the emotional symbol, you use all the symbols here. But the really one where you could use here is the master symbol to protect your energy. Okay. And this is important as well. When we're doing attunements to people, you have to be able to connect yourself. It's like I was doing an attunement at the weekend, and I know it was somebody at a higher vibration like myself. So when I was with my mom on Thursday and Friday, I went to the stone circle and I went there and I grounded my energy. So, and I used the power, all the symbols, but I used the master symbol to protect my energy, that I wouldn't take on her energy. Yes. And so this is very, very effective when you are doing attunements, because you don't want to take on somebody's energy. Okay. And especially when we're doing the higher vibration energy as well, okay, when you're working with people like that. So yeah, the spiritual bodies affect the physical bodies. So healing at the master level is taught to directly affect the higher spiritual body template and can lead to immense transformation and healing on all levels of being and possible at times. So this is where the miracles. So Siobhan and Julian and Noelle and Louisa, you all use this when you're doing your transformation. It's like you're working with your mom, you know, we're all working with people. We can use this to help us to come into our own power, okay? So we don't take on the shit from other people, okay? So this is where you can, Siobhan, just use you as an example with this lady. It's helping you transform and open yourself up to new relationships, because the trust, and also journaling, opening you to trust in your own self and writing your own thoughts down, and they are yours, and to be true to yourself. Even if somebody does read them, they are true to you, because you will be sharing them in time. We all will. We all share our journey. Yeah. And so this is where the transformation, so by using the symbol, it can actually help you to trust your path, your true path, your spiritual path. Okay.
Can I use that symbol in my clinic? Can I have that over my door in my clinic?
You can do, yeah. Yeah. It's yours, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
okay.
can put the tree of life as well, because I think you're connected
I
very
have it
much
there.
with that.
It's at
Yeah.
my door.
Because nobody knows these symbols, you know what I mean? These are just you, and it's just your intention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're there,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just so that when they walk through the door, they are walking through your path of that
Yeah.
intention. Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
with everybody else as well.
Your
It's
protection. It's
your
not for
protection.
anything else. It's just
No.
protection.
Yeah. And as you said, people will look at it and go, oh, it's lovely, you know, whatever, but they actually don't know the intention behind it. Only you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And until you teach it yourself. Yeah. So yeah, so this
Okay.
is important. And as you said, this is where it'll go into your emotional, your spiritual, your all, you know, your mind, everything. This will actually, so during the attunement, we use this to help open up our spirituality, open up the person's spirituality, you know, in the attunement 1, 2, and 3, and yeah, the 3 levels. So you will be using this quite a lot when you're doing the attunement. So yeah, so it contributes to the physical healing and emotional, mental, and spiritual wholeness. So it calls in a complete range of the most positive energy frequencies possible in each specific situation. So when we're working on, and as you said, if you get the text or whatever, you know, you have to ring or whatever, somebody, it's like you put that symbol around you. It'll help you to transform and help you to connect. Yeah. And it's the intention as well. So it's very powerful. So it's used to clear away negativity and as a protective symbol. One focus on the symbol is the healing of the soul. So the physical body reflects the condition of the spiritual body, and one can often effectively heal disease at its casual root or spiritual level with this symbol. Okay, so just see how powerful it is when you are working with it. It is really, really powerful. So that's just the meaning there of all of that, what I've just put up, but I'll put that up on the system for you as well. Okay. So yeah, so just feel into that. I'll just put it back up again for you to just connect with it again and just see. So and just feel into that. Now, as we move on, I've shown you that one. That's just all of the body parts of the horses. And these are just asking the questions again. Keep asking the questions when you're out in the field with your animals or with yourself, asking, you know, and get and feel. And this is just working on your intuition. And as you say, bringing in all the symbols when you're outside as well. It's really powerful. But, you know, as the more you use it, the more the symbols will come in automatically. You won't even have to think about them. They will just come in and work with you. So as when you're working with animals and you're asking the questions, you know, what's going on or whatever. I have an incident here now. I don't know what I was telling you the last time. We have a smell, and I feel it's Freckles' smell in the house, and it comes every now and again. It's like killing us all. We're not going, one day it's gone, and we're going, yes, he's gone. And then it's like, oh no, it's back again. It's back again. So we don't know where it's coming from. So it's really interesting. So I keep asking, and I'm driving Martin demented, going, oh, I think it's coming from the wall, whatever. But I know he's here in spirit, so he's here to tell us something. My sense of smell is really strong. So even if there's no smell, I'm still smelling it. Yeah. And nobody else can smell it. So yeah, so it's just asking the questions. Yeah, and I suppose it's helping, you know, we're all going through a transformation at the moment. I feel all of us are, we're all clearing stuff. I always find this weekend for me, I have my anniversary. I'm 29 years married, which I'm very grateful for. Yes. And so that was on, what day was that? That was on, Jesus, that was on Sunday, Easter Sunday.
Very memorable by the sound of things.
Oh, it's lovely, yes. My memory's going now. Yeah. And then on Monday, Easter Monday, which was the 1st of April. So that was my sister's anniversary. She passed away 14 years ago. And then my birthday was yesterday, the 2nd of April. So the 3 dates. And I tell people the story, right? When we were getting married 29 years ago, I wanted to get married on the 1st of April because it was a Saturday, you know, everyone got married, and I was living in London, and my mother turned around and said, no, you can't get married on Fool's Day. Nobody will come to your wedding because they think you're playing a joke on them. And I believed her like a fool, but obviously that date was meant for something else. So I went on the 31st then. I changed it to the Friday, the 31st, because I thought, all right, okay, I don't really care what date I get married in, you know, and if it affects her, yeah, it doesn't matter. And then 14 years ago, the 1st of April, on Holy Thursday, my sister actually passed away on the 1st of April. So that date was obviously meant for her to be in, and then my birthday, the 3 dates in my life. So these are 3 significant dates in my life. And I felt at the time when she passed away, she was only 49, and she was 50 in June. And I was very angry at the time because I thought she was very young and she didn't do much to help herself to actually get out of this, you know. But now I know 14 years later, I've forgiven her. And I know now she found it really difficult on her spiritual journey and she wasn't ready to change. But she helped me by putting that date right in the middle of my 2 significant dates. And every year I look at my life and I celebrate it now. I didn't for years because I was very sad because I felt guilty celebrating my birthday. But now I remember when I turned 49, when I was 50, I was 51 actually. It was during lockdown, and I celebrated my life for getting over 50 because I felt that I was on the same journey as her. She was 10 years my senior, and if I didn't change, I would end up like her. And I didn't want to be like that because I was very angry with her at the time because I felt I would eat shit to stay alive and she wouldn't. So that was the difference between the two of us. But I felt she'd give me a message that I can actually do it. And she was there. So she's actually up there looking down at me. And yeah, and the whole weekend, it's funny, yesterday I went on a suicide talk, which on my birthday, which I thought was really interesting because it just came up and I thought, oh, I'll do it. Sure, I'm doing nothing on my birthday during the day, kind of, and the whole lot. And it came up, and I sat beside this lady who was she was into motorbikes, and I always talk about my brother who passed away like 48 years ago. And he comes to me spiritually always. And she was sitting beside me and she was a biker. And I'm looking at her going, wow, why are you sitting beside me here today? But it was really just, you know, the way you get these little things where it's like going, oh my God, she's here for a reason. She's connecting me to Mike, my brother, who was a biker, and who I feel, even though he was in a motorbike accident, but I felt he wanted to leave this world. And he chose that because of, and that's where Freckles was coming to my life to actually help me to heal that. And it was really interesting. So I just felt yesterday I was in the right place, and I felt, wow, if I could help people who have these thoughts and feelings of suicide. And, you know, Siobhan, when you're talking about, you know, your partner, your ex-partner, and the abuse, you know, what he made you feel, sometimes we're guided to actually heal what hurted us the most. So, you know, so there might be a little message on that for you as well, that you might be able to help women who are in these situations, and you might be able to help them because you had nobody there to help you on your journey. Yeah, so for me, I just felt yesterday I was in the right place, and I felt very secure. Yeah, so sometimes if we ask the questions and listen and go with our gut feeling, we will find our purpose, you know, going forward. So now, today we are going to look at the chakras, right? So this is, I said the last time we were going to just look at a few of the chakras here. So we have done up to the 8 chakras of the horse, right? So we've done the base, the root, we've done the sacral, the solar plexus, we've done the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, and the brachial, or I call it the sensory one, which is there just here at the neck. So now what I am going to do is we are going into, I've put up here, right, and I'll leave it for you to read it. It's about, and I put it up on the Facebook group as well, is the horse chakra alignment, and it's just connecting with the heart center. And I've given it to you on the Reiki 2 as well. It's just connecting with your heart, with the heart of your pet or your horse, and just feeling into that energy. So I will put that up as well, and you can connect with that. And it's just that I'm just running out of time here. And it's just helping you to connect with the heart center of the horse. But what we're going to do first is, right, let me just go here. Here is the palms of the hand, right? So when we are working with the energies, right, I felt this was important for us to work with to know the different chakras in our hands as well. So when we are working, we will connect and use the hand chakras. So, and this connects to the heart center of the horse as well. And this is so to connect with the healthy hand chakra. Okay, so the heart chakra conditions our ability to channel love and emotions in the body and in the mind. And it transmits this information to the hand chakra. So everything comes from here, the heart center, it flows down the hands. So when we're opening up the heart center, we're opening up the hands, the energy of the hands. Now, I don't know if any of you experienced it, but I know when I started on my spiritual journey here, when we came here 16 years ago, I couldn't go out in the cold here. My hands I used to suffer from Raynaud's disease, and the tips of my hands would actually be falling off me. It's like catching a snowball and feeling that heat and cold in my hands. And I'd literally go out for 2 minutes and my hands used to be absolutely, I'd have to come in. I couldn't be outside. But when I started opening up my spirituality, I realized that actually the flow of my heart wasn't running down. So I had blocked it. I had blocked it here at the wrist. I had blocked the flow of my purpose. Going into my creative side, which is our hand chakras. And when I started working on that, opening up my heart to allowing the energy to flow down into my hands and to flow out to give to people, then the Raynaud's disease disappeared. So I don't suffer from it anymore, which is good. But it's just more knowing why, right? I could have been on medication. I hear loads of people who have Raynaud's disease and are on medication on that, yeah, to help it, the flow. So it's coming from your heart when your heart opens, and it transmits the information down into the hand chakras. So it's the first place, the heart chakra, which must be harmonious in order to be able to communicate healthily with the other chakras. Okay, let me just see if this is here. Yeah. So the hand chakras are located in the palms of each hand. So I'll just go back up here and you can see it. So you can see the heart chakra here. So they're all related. You have the heart chakra, which is your small finger. Yeah. When the hand chakras are correctly connected to the heart chakra, the energy transmitted by the latter can be controlled by the hands. People with healthy hand chakras are naturally able to give and receive. So they can transmit their love, their help, without asking for anything in return. And that's the most important thing, our expectations. We don't expect anything back when we give, okay? Because that sometimes is, we feel we need something back in return, but no. They can transmit their love. So without asking for anything in return, receive compliments, gifts without considering it as their due, and generally have great manual, artistic and creative abilities. Okay. So when the hand chakras are blocked, the person has difficulty using their hands, for example, to demonstrate their feelings through contact, caresses, or express any type of manual creativity. And as I explained to you, my Raynaud's disease. To open the hand chakras, you must therefore act primarily on the heart chakra. Okay, and now I'm going to go back up and I'm just going to show you where, oh wait, now, we'll just see here. Yeah, so the second heart chakra on the horse, right, is, can you see it there? It's on his back, on his hind legs. I'll go back up and I'll show it you up here. The bigger one here, sorry. So if you see it, number 9, the second heart on the horse. It's just there on like his hip, on the hip, yeah? So horses, like other mammals, have only one heart. However, the frog in each hoof acts like a pump to push blood back up the leg each step a horse takes. So it's coming up from the earth chakra, right, which is number 14, and it's coming up through the hoof, right up to the back. Okay, each time the foot is raised, the veins open and blood is pushed in by the arterial pulse and gravity. And probably, Siobhan, you do this with your acupuncture, yeah? Is that an acupuncture point there? Yeah, so you know that. So the weight of the horse forces the blood back up the leg, which is commonly referred to as the second heart. Now, a lot of times when I'm working with the horses, I put my hand, I don't even have to put it on it, but just allow it. And this gets them into coherence as well. And you know, the way they lift up the back leg and they go into coherence and they allow the energy, the veins and everything. And I suppose with humans as well, it's us, like our arteries, our veins pulsing as well. So it's that second heart to allow the blood flow into that part of the heart system. Also, let me just show you there. So yeah, so the heart, so number 14 there is the Earth Star. So this is also called the SIAM chakra. Okay, it's the very outer layer of the aura. It vibrates in a clockwise direction around the body, and it vibrates all colors. So SIAM is the veil over our consciousness. So a huge chakra that encompasses all. It forms a triangle around, right, which we have this number 11, which is or the 12, which is the stellar gateway. And also number 11, the soul star, and also 13. Okay, so it's 12, 13, and 14, the 3 of them. It forms a triangle. And it is the only true conscious awareness and the balance of all chakras that SIAM is lifted. Okay, so it's connecting those 3 chakras there, and you will, and it's connecting the earth chakra. Okay. Are you okay with that? I put that up in the system as well, and just to help you to connect with that. Let me just see here now. So the hoof chakra, which is number 14 again, right? I'll just go into that again. So the color or the crystal you can use if you want to use crystals is petrified wood. Okay, so the energy is connection to nature and the earth, feeling grounded. So the clear hoof chakra ensure a constant connected flow of communication and harmony with the energy grids of the earth. So the open hoof chakras also allows horses to send energy back into the earth. When your horse paws the ground or kicks up their heels, they are dispersing spent energy and making themselves known. So your horse's hooves are critical in their safety and well-being. Those 4 hooves connected your horse to the earth, allowing them to pivot and run when danger is detected. Okay. Now, and the next one we're going to do is 15, and I'll do the Soul Star and the Stellar Gateway the next time. But the next one I want to show you is number 15 and 16, which is a really powerful one. I call it's balancing the left and the right, but I call it the higher solar plexus chakra. Okay, so it's there, just there in the center at the solar plexus, but it's the higher solar plexus chakra. An open, healthy, high solar plexus chakra allows your horse to be either a pleasant horse to ride and enjoy or not. This chakra is not as important in horses who aren't ridden. Okay, so an overactive high solar plexus chakra causes a difficult to ride, flighty horse. They never settle into the horse-rider bond and always test and resist. So the underactive blocked higher solar plexus chakra causes a horse to not enjoy being ridden. So riding, so a big sigh or, well, I have to, or let's go vibe just oozes from them. Okay, so I just find that one as a really powerful one. And a lot of the times there is trauma there because you might feel, you know, where you might cut with the legs, you know, the way people, when you're on the saddle, you might cut it there, you know, and then there's a trauma. But also I find here with Ruby, she has like a white scar. And her trauma is she was a foster foals for thoroughbreds. So her own one was taken and the thoroughbred, and she had an awful sense of loss, and it used to actually affect her psychologically. She just disorientated with the loss of her own foals. And that's why she has this neurological jumpy, because she doesn't know what's coming next. But I suppose she's here 9 years now, so that jumping is kind of gone, I think. Yeah, but there's nothing. Yeah, but it was just more that scarring. She has a white scar in there on the 15, 16 chakra, and it just, I suppose it's just helping me with my scarring, my traumas, but also hers as well. So just feel into that. Also, this is really good if you're bringing a horse, you know, into a new environment, or, you know, if you bought a horse and bringing it in, it might actually be good to work on the 15 and 16, you know, and letting go of the trauma of the other stable, you know, and bring it into yours as well, your stables. Yeah, so that could be one where really it's a really powerful one to work on. Yeah, the 15, 16, but I put all them up on the system for you. Yeah. And then we'll work on the home star, which is number 13. We'll do them next week or next month. We'll just but I think these ones are quite powerful. Number 9, 14, and 15 and 16. Okay. Now we've 5 minutes left, and what I want to do is I was guided to just to do a little meditation for you on loving and kindness for ourselves. Now, I just want to, actually, just quickly, I'm running away with myself. Hang on now, because today, so they're all, I put all them up individually up on the Facebook page. But today we're going to work on clarity and desire, okay? So we'll quickly run through this with you. So clarity and desire. So here is, I just find, you know, when we're on our journey, we have to be clear and what we desire and our intentions of moving on, especially now because we have our master symbol. We're working on that symbol, and what we put out to the universe is actually going to be allowing it to come back into Earth. So if we're putting love and kindness out, we're going to receive it back in again. And it's setting the intention always. But same with creating our desire as well. So when we're putting that intention out there, we draw the symbol, the master symbol, to help us to create and manifest what we want in our lives. And also to allow it to be authentic and to be true to yourself. Okay. And this as well is when you're writing down in your journal, it's about being true to yourself as well. And as you said, don't be afraid for people to see it, because for me, now we're grown adults, you will be writing the book soon, Siobhan, on this, on all your feelings and all your traumas. So you'll be writing it in a book and people will be reading it. So this is about you being authentic. Yeah. Don't be afraid for what people feel, because this is our vulnerability and this is on our spiritual journey. Okay. And people have to see.
We'll let Gillian do the EFT first before I kind of buy into the story.
By in 3 weeks' time, Siobhan, you will be going.
Different story then, yeah. Gillian rocks.
Yeah. So we're about creating more joy and happiness. And by sharing our story and being authentic, we can actually share with other people and they will have trust in us. So it's about you trusting you, and then about allowing other people to trust you as well. Okay. Because I think this is probably a big thing with all of us, probably, is trusting. I was brought up on survival mode, so from a very young age. So for me to trust anybody was like going, yes. And me going home every week to see my mother, I have to ground myself 20 feet down under the ground so that I am actually standing in my power, and anything that throws on me. And it's funny, the weekend I had my niece here yesterday, and she was the very same as my mother. It's amazing. It's just a little behavior, little snippet, she would say, to knock you down. And she's only 21. And I'm going, oh, can you not, you know? But it's just a behavior from my sister. And I'm looking at her going, why did you say that? That's not very nice, you know, and put that energy out so everyone can laugh at somebody, you know what I mean? And she knew she'd get a laugh from everybody, but it was not very nice or not very kind to do that. So, and it was just watching going, oh my God, that's what my mother would do. And there's my sister's child doing it now, the next generation down. And I can see the behavior, and I'm going, and my son was looking at her going, why did you say that to me? You know, but it was just more that behavior. We've listened and and it's just being aware of that. Okay. So these are just the exercises I want you to look at. Okay. Do you find yourself resisting change for any of the following reasons? Fear of repercussions from others. So sometimes you might like to write down because it might be about somebody else we're writing down about. So guilt over hurting someone else, guilt over disappointing another, or fear of being judged, criticized, or rejected. So these are good exercises just to help you. List things that you do that you don't want to do, or things you want to do but don't. Describe in what way, if any, you are choosing to do these things because of someone else. To evaluate how much of your power you give away, consider the reasons that you do what you do, or rather don't do what you want. Do you find a strong correlation between the areas of your life you are unsatisfied with and the areas of your life you allow others to determine for you? And I know when I started working with horses back, I did my first horse consciousness course back in, God, 9, 10, 11 years ago. And I remember we went off riding a horse. We were all asked to take a horse out, and I picked my husband's horse, which was really interesting because he's totally different to me. And I actually picked his horse, and I realized back then, 9 years ago, I was there going, I felt so horrible on top of the horse because he wasn't my horse, firstly. He wanted to be in front all the time and non-stop. My horse, I wanted just to sit back and take in the view where we were riding and chat and everything. So here I was pulling this horse back to go, come back here. And there was resistance between the two. And I remember the lady said to me, she says, what else is possible? And I went, oh, just give me another horse. Give me a horse that I can actually ride, because I felt so low because I thought, oh God, I can't ride the horse. Jesus, what kind of a yoke am I at all? You know what I mean? I'm useless and oh, look at me. And next thing, this lady turned around and said, you can have my horse. You can ride my horse. And when I got up on the horse, I felt a connection straight away. I went, oh my God. And this horse was literally stopping when I said stop, and we were looking at the views and we were chatting. And when I said canter, it cantered along. And I went, that's it. That was the message for me. I was not in my own power, and I had given my power away because I felt everybody else was better than me, and I just was listening to them as opposed to listening to what I felt. And when she said that word, and I keep saying it over and over again, if something doesn't feel right for me, what else is possible? And the solution came, and it was just when I came back from that course, that was the one thing that I learned from it, was actually what else is possible, and to regain my own power, to do my own healing. As Julian was saying last week, it was about you, EFT, the Emmet, the Reiki, bringing it all in, bring everything in to your own power, what you have learned, and share those gifts as one, and be in your own power then, and don't let anyone dictate to you what other way, because it's you. We're all different. We're all unique. It's like everybody has a different style. So we are all unique in what we do. So don't lose that, just because somebody told you, oh, you can't do this because this is the way we do it. It's not. It's all energy. And Reiki is all about sharing the connection and love and bringing everything into the core of it all. I do Tai Chi, and I do meditations and mindfulness and all of that. I bring it all in, and we use tools. The dog is agreeing with me. Hey. So be your unique self. This is you who we're talking about, and be in your own power. And it doesn't matter. People are going to knock you. I've had my brothers going, horse full of laminitis, and I'm going, no, they're not. But just, people try to knock you or whatever just because they think they know everything about everything. Yeah. So use your gut and be in your power. So did you determine what you allow others to write your screenplay? And here it is. If so, we urge you to strongly consider whether you are willing to continue to allow other people to limit your life. So check off any area in which you are willing to allow others to control your life. Now, my husband didn't mean to control my life, but I had given my power away to him because I felt, oh, here I was at home, working from home, or not even, I was minding the kids, and I had given my power. I'd given my power away all my life to everyone in my family, everyone, because I didn't believe in myself. So these questions are really good. So yeah, I'll put them up on the system as well for you to look at. You can do these. Yeah. And here then. So clarity is what will keep your clients coming to you for their needs and will make the world a much happier place. It is frustrating to speak to someone and have no clue what they said. Humans are inherently social, but our lack of clarity is disabling our society. And it is sometimes there's undertones and there's everybody communicating, but nobody's actually communicating the truth. Sometimes they go underlining and they go around it and everywhere. So please do not continue to contribute to this epidemic. Your challenge is to simply think of what you want to say before you say it and ask yourself these questions. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? How am I trying to say it? So also, when I find I challenge my mom quite a lot now with stuff. She might say things and I'd say, well, I would bring it back to her. How would you deal with that? Instead of giving out about, oh, look at them, whatever. I would go and I'd ask her how she dealt with it when she was, and she literally can't answer me, but it's interesting, you know, so what am I trying to say, or how am I trying to say it? How would I feel if someone said this to me? And happy communicating and being true, right? And being true to yourself. And these are just
Example of that one, actually. I in my clinic, because I do a lot of physical therapy as well, I had a man in yesterday who he suffers with his back. He's a paramedic, and I used the analogy with him before. Last year he was with me. I think it was not last year, in January, because he was trying to get back to work. He teaches, so he does a lot of standing up, and he's worried about his back in an awful state. And I tried to explain to him that by him trying to get back to a job that was probably destroying him and causing him his pain in the first place, it was a bit like scolding a 2-year-old child. And he just looked at me with utter horror and he said, I don't understand. And I said, picture yourself in the kitchen. I said, you have kids. I said, and your 2-year-old child is sitting at the breakfast table and you hand them a bowl of cereal before you put the milk in, and the child is messing, because that's what 2-year-olds do, and they're just doing their own thing, and he flips the bowl over and the cereal goes everywhere. I said, you have two choices. I said, you can either say accidents happen and go calmly about your business. I said, or you could let fly and rip the child to pieces. I said, what you're doing, I said, is you're ripping your child to pieces. And he said, I don't understand. And I said, your body is a 2-year-old child. You're causing damage to yourself and your body doesn't understand. So it's in fear of you because you're creating pain for it. And he couldn't understand it. So when he came in again yesterday, and he was after reversing all the good work we did on him, and he knew full well what he was doing, but he bought into the idea because his ego took over, because his boss challenged him last week, and he said, I can do this. And he arrived in yesterday, and I just stood there and I looked at him, and there was a vibration of him that almost made me sick. His body was screaming for help. It was like a 2-year-old child sitting in the corner, literally blue in the face, screaming for someone to come and rescue them. That's the only picture I got, was this body was just traumatized. And I said to him, I said, did you forget? I said, the child knocked the bowl of cereal over on the table. I said, there was no milk in it. There was no harm done. The bowl didn't break. I said, why did you scream at the child? And he just looked at me and he said, I didn't. I said, but you did. I said, look at where you are now. I said, you're back on my table. You're using crutches again. I said, you're in bits. Your body is literally vibrating. The vibration was nauseating. It was really intense. And by the time we were finished, he was sitting on the couch, and I just said to him, I held onto his arm because I needed to stabilize the body, you know, and I just said, you're still vibrating, but the vibration has gone down a lot. I said, can you not feel that quiver has eased off? And he goes, well, yeah, I guess in a way I can. I said, look, I said, you have a choice now. I said, your wife is already annoyed with you for putting yourself through what you did. I said, what are you going to do the next time? I said, are you going to slap the child again? Or are you going to literally sit down and say, look, accidents happen. Maybe let's try not to do it again.
Yeah.
And it was the only way I could get through to him, because he was not listening. He just felt he was invincible, and his body was literally in bits. You know, it was going to be a case of he was going to put himself in a wheelchair if he didn't stop, you know. Now, I didn't say that to him, but that was his next stop, is if he doesn't stop, his body's literally going to break in two, you know. His back is so bad.
And that's where the ego is, isn't it? Which we still think we're 21, just say. He still thinks he's 21, and he's just going on that fight or flight, isn't it? Yeah.
Not even fight or flight. The ego was literally, you know, like, I mean, you wouldn't do that to a dog. You wouldn't do it to a cat. You wouldn't do it to a child. Well, I'd like to think you wouldn't. But he felt it was perfectly okay to do it himself. And then when the body reacted, he kind of goes, oh, why am I in this mess? And you're there going, well, you did it yourself. You put yourself there. Nobody helped you do it. You decided you had a point to prove. And that's the big thing, is the point to prove. Who are you proving it to? Yourself or the world around you?
And you know what I find sometimes when I'm out with the horses there, and I can feel the energy, or if you're working with horses, if you just tap the crown chakra points in your hand. I do a lot of clapping when I go out into the field, and it brings the horse, it stables the shock system in the body of the horse as well. It just brings the energy. So it's the 2 crown chakras, you know, the 2 energy points connecting, and it allows the shock so they can hear it at a vibration, the 2 energies going together. And what happens is it calms, it lets go the shock in the body. So it's the same with that gentleman, you know, when you just, it's like the horses, you connect the 2 energy points, and you can actually, and the horses just fly around the field like lunatics, and they go, oh, what's wrong? Or you go up behind them even and go boom like that. And until they stop, then you know that the shock, the system, they've calmed down, and they're in tune as well. So that brings them down into alignment with what's going on. And as you said, like that, balancing that man, you know, to come into alignment and come into one with himself, you know, as well. So it's the same with the horses, bringing that energy in by clapping and letting go of the shock out of the body. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so when we live on the intuitive edge, you will trust your instincts. You will find it easier to make decisions, know the difference between intuitive insights and internal lies, bring clarity and guidance to uncertainty, and find creative solutions to problems. So achieve your goals with greater purpose, power, and passion, and enjoy fulfilling and joyful interactions with friends, loved ones, and colleagues, and refine your powers of perception and heighten your awareness. So big bonuses come your way when you amplify your intuition. Okay, so this is about being more clear, and then act with calm, clarity, and effectiveness. So these are just more questions for you. Are you feeling overwhelmed with all the stuff coming at us each day? Is it hard to avoid being overwhelmed, but you never have to be again? Okay, so I'll put these up again on Everything Sorts Out. You can see more clearly, you can act more effectively. So avoid being sidetracked, which is a lot of us do, isn't it? I didn't realize I actually suffer from ADD, so I get sidetracked quite a lot. But when I'm out with the horses or when I'm working with animals in nature, it's amazing. I'm actually totally at one, and I can feel the energy when I'm there. But when I'm inside and distracted with people, I get distracted with people, because I suppose what happens is I know now I have to ground myself, because I have to be able to listen to them, and I put in the symbols for me to ground myself, so that I'm actually not looking out the window going, oh my God, I'm bored to tears of this person. Yeah. Or whatever. So it's just more being at one with myself and listening and looking at the body language of people. So experience a sanctuary of stillness at any time, unlock strength and energy when you feel ranked or in multiple directions, and quickly revitalize. So this is, yeah, and I do this, it's a Tai Chi move, but I come from the belly center and I bring the energy up around the hands, up around the body, and over the crown chakra, or actually when we're working on the other chakras above the stellar and the stellar gateway, we bring the energy down then. So we bring it down through the chakras and down into the belly center. So we're connecting all of that, and that's just really grounding. And we bring that energy into the belly, and then we take the energy down again to the root chakra. So we're going down to the earth and bringing it around again. This is a really good way of grounding the energy and bringing you into at one as well. So it's just bringing that energy in. Okay. So and when you're outside, they can bring you into, the horse can bring you into stillness, or Mother Earth, or the trees, or anything. So it's, so yes, ladies. So it's 11:15 now. I don't want to keep you anymore, and we will ground and we'll connect. And we'll just take a deep breath, and if we just hold our hand at the heart center. And we're just breathing in, just getting the body, the breath, and just absorbing all the information. And it's just about allowing us to be more clear in what we're communicating, and opening up our desires to manifest. And as I said, next, and in 3 weeks' time, we will do the EFT, and we will see where we're all coming from as well, you know, as we connect. And we'll get Gillian to do the EFT with us and help us. And if anyone else wants to share any of their unique gifts, we can do it the following time as well. Yes. So we just hold the breath here. Breathing in and breathing out. And just becoming still. And it's all about love and kindness for yourself and for everyone that comes into your vortex, into your auric field. And just sending them love to yourself and sending it out. And give gratitude to each other. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for being here. Now I just stop sharing. And I pause that.